Welcome to AI TV News. Today we unpack the headline, Department of Transportation Chief Threatens to Fire Air Traffic Controllers Who Skip Work. America's air travel system is already under strain, and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy's warning has turned up the heat. On Thursday, he told air traffic controllers that if they miss work during the government shutdown, they could be fired. The threat comes as airports struggle with thousands of delays, a sign of a system near its breaking point. How did we get here? It starts with the federal shutdown that began on October 1st after Congress failed to pass a spending bill. Roughly 13,000 air traffic controllers are classified as essential, meaning they must keep working but won't be paid until the shutdown ends. They will receive a partial check for hours worked before October 1st, but if the stalemate drags on, their full October 28th paycheck disappears. Understandably, sick calls are up. Since Monday, October 6th, more than 15,000 flights have been delayed nationwide. The Federal Aviation Administration says 53% of delays now stemmed from staffing shortages, up from just 5% before the shutdown. Major hubs like Chicago, Nashville, and Denver have felt the pinch, and Hollywood Burbank Airport in California had to close its tower for nearly 6 hours when no controllers were available. To maintain safety with fewer people, the Federal Aviation Administration slows traffic, triggering a ripple of delays coast to coast. But these cracks existed long before the shutdown. The United States is short about 3,500 controllers. Many were already working mandatory 6-day weeks and 10-hour shifts. Hiring and training have now halted, compounding a problem that will linger for years. Against this backdrop, Secretary Duffy labeled a small subset of controllers as problem children and estimated that about 10% are lashing out by staying home. He said, if we have staff that aren't dedicated like we need, we're going to let them go, while calling the majority who do show up patriots. A Department of Transportation spokesperson later said his comments were aimed only at rare bad actors. The Controllers Union, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, is walking a tightrope.
It warns members that organized sickouts are illegal and could cost them their jobs. Yet it publicly urges unwavering professionalism. In response to Duffy's threat, the union reminded members that existing procedures already address misuse of sick leave. On the ground, or rather in the tower, the pressure feels different. One veteran controller told Forbes the workload, now coupled with no pay, is untenable. He predicts sick calls will continue, not as protest, but because some controllers are simply not fit for duty under this stress. Even Secretary Duffy conceded the point. When controllers worry about mortgages, they can't focus solely on keeping airspace safe. The showdown is unfolding in a charged political arena. The Trump administration blames Democrats for the shutdown. In a highly unusual move, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem ordered a video to play at Transportation Security Administration checkpoints nationwide, telling travelers that Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, which is why Transportation Security Administration staff are working without pay. So what does all this mean? The threat to fire controllers is a flashpoint in a much larger story. A critical safety system that was understaffed and overworked long before politics cut its paychecks. The shutdown has pushed it to the edge. Sit calls and marathon delays aren't just statistics. They're byproducts of policy decisions made hundreds of miles from the runways they affect. Until Congress restores funding, or the administration finds another path, controllers will keep guiding planes without pay, Passengers will keep waiting at gates, and officials will keep trading blame. The question is whether America's air traffic system can keep absorbing the strain. That's the story behind today's headline.